open up the drone bag and launch it, just send it up in the air. But we have to always check the airspace, the regulations, the rules, whether or not the airspace is clear, if it's in a LAANC area. There's all kinds of things that technically the average person doesn't really do or check, and that's why there's so much scrutinization with coming on with the FAA, with all the new law changes, the new rules, the new regulations, forcing people to know the laws, because a lot of people fly illegally. All right, so we're here in Long Beach Harbor at the Pike, and this is a really beautiful place to fly. I always love flying here, but the one downfall is this area is, even though it doesn't appear to be near an airport, even though the airport is quite a ways away, on the map we're literally right on the edge of where the end of the radius around the airport that they don't want you flying, that's where that radius ends. So you may think, oh, I'm way away from an airport, I'm totally safe to fly here, and most novices will just take their Mavic, open it up, turn it on, and the Mavic will let them fly, so they just start flying without realizing that in technicality, if a cop were to come and interrogate you and see what's going on here, and long story short, most people are flying illegally without realizing that they're not supposed to be flying here without permission through the LAANC system. So I'm going to show you how to use LAANC to authorize your flight and make sure that you're flying within the legal boundaries of wherever you're trying to fly at. So this is what I'm going to do first. I'm going to come over here and sit down, open up my drone. Okay. I got the Mavic Air 2. Let's do it over here on this side. There's a bunch of stuff over there It's ready for flight. Everything's already set up, batteries are already charged. I'm gonna prepare it, do a systems check to make sure everything's good, and then we're gonna get in the air and show you how simple the step is to request permission to take off. All right, everything else is ready to go, except for clearance takeoff. So, I'm gonna turn on a screen capture on my phone here. I'll put that up. This is the Before You Fly app. It's powered by Aloft, which is straight through the FAA themselves. Got to make sure you have your GPS on. I always turn do not disturb mode on so that nobody bugs me while I'm flying. Interrupts my flight. And as you can see here on the app, it says we are in controlled airspace. So if we zoom in, or out rather, on the map, we can see the big giant blue area, indicating that this area is a airport and that we can't just fly here if we want to. You got to request permission to do that. And most people come over here, see how beautiful this coastline is, and just take off from the DJI app. Because if I were to go to the DJI app by itself right now, you would notice that it would let me take off. So most people don't realize they're doing it illegally and they can get in trouble. So you can see here, controlled airspace, authorization required. See details below. Get LAANC. So we're going to get LAANC. All right. Add. Request LAANC. I am a Part 107 commercial pilot. If you're recreational, you just choose recreational. Say, okay, I got it. I understand. The maximum eligible altitude is only 100 feet. Even though you can normally fly up to 400 feet, we're only allowed to fly up to 100 feet ceiling in this location near the airport, even as far away from the airport as we are. So we press maximum of 100 feet. We press yes. Actually, one step further, I got to adjust my flight path, so I'm going to draw the boundaries of the area that I'm going to fly. I'm going to go all the way to the bridge and to the edge of this harbor and back, like so. All that space. All right. Duration, how long? Only 30 minutes. Pre-check results complete. Authorizing airport. There we go. Submit. And done. Now you can see the blue box surrounding my area has authorized my flight. And you can see down here, LAANC AGT, there's my confirmation code. If I click more, shows the operator, my height, and all the parameters. And now I am good to go once I get the confirmation email, which I already did right there. Request approved. by the FAA. There you go. So we are clear for takeoff. Now we are legal to fly within the boundaries of the parameters that we have set. So let's start up the drone here. Let's power on the controller. And then power on the drone. Take the gimbal guard off. We're going to open up the actual DJI Fly app. And there we go. All right, let's get airborne. Check for pedestrians. We don't want to fly over people. Make sure that we're not interfering with flying over people. We're 57% batteries, which is enough for what we're doing here. All right, here we go. Now let's go get some awesome aerials. All right. We're gonna go get aerials of that boat out there in the distance. You see that boat? Now if you look over my shoulder, you'll be able to see what I see. There's some birds. I'm gonna lock the exposure manually. Here comes a sailboat, so I gotta raise my altitude. Open up our map so we can see our boundaries. All right, so now we're gonna come over here and circle this boat from a safe distance. All right, and now I have a good baseline to start my shot with. I'm now recording, and I'm manually flying, keeping the city in the backdrop, while I fly off the left-hand side of this boat as my primary subject in the foreground, maintaining a equal level flight to the left. Getting the sailboat behind it. Speed up my flight. We're at 48% batteries, checking my surroundings manually with my eyes, staying within visual line of sight. Coming back in. I'm going to fly parallel along the path. All right. Let's get the sailboat. We can't hit above a ceiling of 100 feet, so I'm watching my altitude. Here we go. Now I'm going to get a stationary shot, letting the boat cross through my frame. All right, concluding that. I'm going to switch it over to HDR. High dynamic range. Beautiful shot of the city and the harbor with a sailboat. Perfect. and recording. This will be a stationary shot, only about 5 to 10 seconds. Save that, come in closer. I'm gonna do a flyby shot. We're gonna pick up the speed, put it into sport, and go flying full blast towards them. I need to be able to put my antenna signal in that direction. Okay. We're gonna go full speed over the boats here through the harbor on the way back. I can see below me that there are no civilian pedestrians. So I'm gonna go right over here, over the boats, making sure not to interfere with any traffic below me. Getting a beautiful view of all the boats in the harbor. We're at 29%, so we're gonna need to bring her home. All right, and there's our flight. And that's all there is to it. Simple, batteries are at 29%. So that's how you use LAANC to authorize your flights and make sure that you are clear for flight and takeoff. Before you do so, always check the LAANC app to see if you're authorized for takeoff. And there we go, that's all there is to it. Catch you guys in the next one.